Oh, g'day everyone, it's Warren from NQ Explorers. Today we're out on a little recon expedition to the site of a late 1800s rural industrial site, and this I believe was the accommodation area, and there's a creek down behind us here where they drew their water. We're going to have a bit of a wander around in here and see what I can ping with the machine. I'm going to do it kind of one of our raw metal detecting days. You're going to see everything I dig, every target. I haven't been here with the machine. I came here about 2 weeks ago and scouted around to see if I could get some evidence of this old settlement, and I did find it, and I'll show you that in a minute. Didn't have the detector with me, and since that time it's rained pretty heavily and the grass is rampant. But there's plenty of open areas we can detect. We'll have a look along the creek there. There could be an old dump or a rubbish or bottle dump there, I don't know. So what we're going to do is just dig every target. I'll show you all the targets I dig, and we'll enjoy this adventure together. Thanks for joining me. So this is the kind of evidence I spotted on the ground when I was here a fortnight ago. This old 1800s, probably a vinegar bottle neck. And over here we've got more old glass, quite thick. We've got bits of ceramic. More glass over here. Look at that glass there, look how thick that is. That's definitely 19th century. The place is sort of all over by 1910, so it's late 1800s into the 1910s kind of era, maybe the early 20s. So let's see what we can find in here. So today I'm using the Garrett AT Max International with the Nell sharpshooter coil. It's a 9.5-inch double D. As you can see, it's pretty mineralised soil, 90 ground balance. So I'm in custom mode. I've got 40 points of iron set. I might drop that back to 30. We'll see what's in here. I like to dig the iron too. We might find some old hoe or garden implements or plough parts. Sensitivity's on 7, and I've actually notched out everything below 45. We'll have a crack at this and see how we go with these settings for about an hour. Well, as you can see, I'm getting down towards the creek here. Beautiful subtropical rainforest in there. It's lovely. Might be a bit of flowing water actually. We'll go and have a look in a minute. But this is an interesting find. I haven't found any reportable metal targets, but there's a lovely old piece of ceramic. Look at this. Bit of old English scalloped edged flower plate, whatever you want to call that. We'll just leave him there. Continue on. Well, that's a piece of ceramic. I just put it back in place, and right next to it was a target. Iron, but it's part of an old pot, obviously. See the curved edge there and the sort of rim shape. Very interesting. Ceramic and iron pot. Could have been a bit of activity going on. And my next relic's this brick. A little clues that it's leading us on. I wonder if it's a little quarter of a brick. It's not, if it had a stamp on it, I'd be able to determine where it was from. But that's good, all good signs. Right, I found a way down to the creek. There's a little bit of a re-entrant coming into the side here. Looks like there's a bit of water down there. And look over there, I can see an old wash tub with a couple of little trees growing through it. The old pot, washing tub over there. Got some glass shining ahead of us. I've got glass under my feet. Put the detector down, it's actually off at the moment. Have a look at this. Bit of old plate. Quite ornate on the edges. Here's the old wash tub. Oh, here we go. We've got some old bottles. Look at this one. Fortunately the top's broken. Condiment in situ. Rainwater. Okay, well, that's not whole, but there's more evidence here. There's a glove job in it. Look at that old, that's an old wine bottle or something from the 1800s. That's a beauty. Might be worth having a dig around here. I can see a piece of a shovel or something there. Been broken off. Glass and ceramic all down this creek bank. Well, actually the creek is dry, it's surprising. All the rain we've had. It's been flowing. but as you can see, there's no water at the moment. More ceramics and bottles. Okay, let's have a look in the bottom here. Got more glass. I just might go for a wander up the creek here and see what we can see sticking out of this bank, because maybe there was an old house up there, and this was, as they did in the 1800s, everything went over the back into the creek. But I'll run the detector along this creek and see if we can pick any targets up. Look at the vines in there, hiding all the secrets. Righto, I'll go for a wander around the creek and I'll report if I find anything of interest. Well, I've got a rip of a find just on the surface here. I've parked the detector up in that little gully up the back there where we came down. I've got a really old axe head just laying in the creek. Pretty worn. It's not a large axe, it's sort of a half hatchet, half axe, I guess. Definitely been a lot of activity in the 19th century here. Bit hard to detect it, but I'm going to keep going. There's a lot of creek to explore yet, and there's sort of bottle fragments and glass all down that bank. Let's keep going. Right, I'm going to turn the detector on now. In this spot you can see there's a bit of a concentration of old tea there. Well buried. It's part of this pot by the look of it. Look at that thing. Big old soup tureen or something like that. Now, this is what I saw earlier on. That's the end of her. Oh no, that's a pot. Maybe with a handle. Cast iron pot. Awesome. I thought that was going to be a shovel. Okay, look, we'll just detect this little spot. Tell you what, pretty humid down here, the mosquitoes are rampant. And a few marsh flies are moving in, so I'm suffering a bit, but I'm sure it's going to be worth it. Let's keep exploring. Okay, I'm right at the head of the gully. That's kind of ground level above on the floodplain. This is it's a fairly large target, but it's consistently 86, 87 up above these bottles. So we'll have a crack at a live dig. It's going to be a bit difficult to set the camera up, but we'll have a look. Let's see if we can get it there. Get you somewhere you're not going to fall back into the creek. That's behind you there. Lots of ceramics and stuff here, so not going to be an iron target. With that consistency, there's no tone roll or any kind of inconsistency. There it is, it's a big piece of brass plate. It's cut brass plate. Now that's a good sign. There's good metal targets in this bottle dump here. I like it. Well, this little gully's probably more suited to sifting. I'll have to build a sifter. Well, I've got one, but not big enough for this. That's the head of the gully. I've parked up the max and turned it off. There's too many iron targets. Just started digging and scratching around the pit, and to determine the depth of this, and it's about 8 inches down. I'm still getting bottle fragments, and I've got this lovely old frame of some description. Ceramic. I don't know what that is. It's sort of off centre, but it looks like it's had a photograph or something in it. I don't know what that is. The centre is made of some, looks like Bakelite or something. But if I clean that, I might be able to get a photograph out of that or something, or a picture. I like that. As you can see, there's all the ceramic and broken bottle. We'll see if we get a whole bottle out of this. Man, it's cooking down in here. I've got mosquitoes. You wouldn't believe it. I hope you're okay at home because I'm not here. There's obviously standing water somewhere because the mosquitoes haven't got much of a range, and they're everywhere here. So somewhere down the downstream. I haven't been downstream very far. Must be a bit of a stagnant pond or something, but anyway, we'll crack on with this. The mosquitoes aren't going to stop us finding treasure. Okay, I've probably done as much as I need to do without coming back with a sifter. I've just dug and determined that that artefact layer goes down more than a foot there. Lots of ceramics and glass coming out. No complete bottles. That frame sort of thing I just found. I found 2 more, so that may not be what I think it is. I'm not sure what that would be. So what I'm going to do is spread this out now and hit it with a detector and see if there's any little metallic targets in there. Maybe there's a coin or a button or something in there. Let's have a crack at that. Well, there's a nice find from the early 1900s, 20s or something. It's a little cap gun. Trigger guard still there. Little tiny one for a little 3 or 4 year old stockman or bushranger. That's a ripper. I'll see if I can get a brand off that. There's the chamber which is just moulded on. The barrel's broken, but maybe more bits of it in here. Right, well, that's the situation at the moment. That's as much as I can do without a sieve and a shovel. I've only got a detector and a prospecting pick. So I'll just push that back in, refill it, and I believe that whole gully and up into this, where that old wash tub is, and this big tree, is all glass and ceramic. That's an old dump. This gully is the dump, just here, where I walk down. So what we'll do now, I'll go back up on the flat above this gully, the logic being that people walking down here to dump the rubbish, or there may have been an old house site or a shack or something just up above this site, because they didn't go far to dump their rubbish. So we'll go up there with a detector and work through the rest of the day up there and leave this for another trip. Might bring Colleen down here with a shovel and a sieve. Righto, let's get back into it. Well, I'm back up on the creek bank. Nothing sensational yet, but this is an interesting old, very old, corrugated old water tank which has been riveted. So that's definitely an 1800s relic just laying there like that. So if there's a water tank here, that's probably not far from where it originally stood, on a tank stand or something. Obviously no town water out here, just rely on the roof water. Pretty tough when it's dry. A lot of water conservation went on, and every drop was precious, as it is now. So that creek continues on into this area. That's further downstream than where we were 20 minutes ago. Potential for relics all through here. Haven't uncovered anything significant, but just that old ceramic and the old bottles, there's got to be something in here. I haven't actually found any house site though. Okay, I was heading down the creek and I spotted something over here. It's an old steel trunk and some bottles just lying in the grass. There's a bit of old frosted glass off Queenslander louver windows. Let's have a look at these. We've got writing, That's what I want to see. T. Tristram. TT cordial. Tristram Australia. Oh no, Tristram Brisbane. No top, bummer. Okay, let's look at this one. Oh, the top's gone off that too. Mine or syrups, well, they're well known old Aussie cordial, obviously. Have a look at that. Pity the top's not on that. Okay, we've got Tristram and Minor. That'd make nice little display bottles if I just managed to clean the tops up. More over here. Lots of writing. Here's this trunk. I'm stepping on bottles everywhere. Look at the plates and jars. Righto. Another broken one, of course. What's this one? Australasian Jam Company, Melbourne. The Australasian Jam Company. Another broken one. What's this one here? That looks a lot like a 1950s style beer bottle. There's the old steel trunk. What else we got in here? Geez, a bummer about those old cordial bottles being smashed. This one's got an interesting ridge on the top of it. What's this one? Oh, why have the tops off all these bottles? They must have busted them to open them. Like they used to with the old cod bottles or something. Let's just smash them open. Because they didn't have bottle openers. What else we got? There's that old riveted water tank. Shall we venture further? Okay, we've got a jar there, but it looks like a screw lid. A bit disappointed about these two here. Well, they got some friends in here, and they got some friends waiting. Who've not broken. Clearly that one is. Oh, I've got to get some gloves, eh? Yeah. Okay, so we've got Tristram there. That's a nice little find. We'll keep scouting around in here, see what else turns up. Well, that's an interesting one. Once again, it's incomplete, but where it's from. This bottle is a property of the Bendigo Press Company, the PRES. I have to look that up. But we're nowhere near Bendigo. It's about 2,000 kilometres south. This bottle travelled a long way to get dumped here. We've got a Brisbane bottle company bottle, TT cordials, and something from Bendigo. Well, here's my first dug target. It's an 85. I think it's like a bracket off a curtain rod, a big fat wooden curtain rod, maybe from an old Queenslander across the louver windows. I think that's what it is, or it could be some sort of external fitting, brass. That's a nice one. I'm going to take that home and use it, repurpose it. Okay, I've discovered another little gully of bottles and rubbish that was probably 50 metres from where I was digging 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. A little bit of a plunge pool where the water's been running down here. I can see bits of glass there. It's been flowing under where the machine's laying. I've turned off Max, he's a bit noisy in here. Up here, there's a little medical or poison bottle of some description broken. Bonington's Irish Moss, coughs and colds. Nice. Weirdo, I haven't found a single intact bottle. But lots of glass and ceramic down in this ditch. A lot of sieving needs to go on here, really. As you can see, it's difficult with all the vine coverage to spot anything on the surface, so you've got to disturb it. But really, this is a fairly wet little spot. Even in the dry weather, you're going to get plenty of grass coverage and vine coverage. There's another little bottle here. Looks like the top's gone off that. Little medical bottle or perfume bottle. Look at this beautiful bit of pottery going on there. And look at that, where the plunge pool's gone, it's eroded into the ground. There's glass all through there. See if it continues downstream into the creek. Yep, just stuck under here. It was fine. Glass, glass, glass. Have a nice bit of pottery. Bits of a soup tureen there. More glass. Oh, now it's getting more interesting. We've got bricks coming up. Heap of bricks there. And that's the creek gully main. So, okay, well, what I've been able to determine, I think, this is my current theory, based on the information I've received. This area was in use from the 1870s onwards. Some of the bottles I'm seeing, there's like 1950s beer bottles. I'm seeing 1800s cordial and that cough mixture sort of bottle from into the 20s. There's a few layers of deposition here. Not entirely sure where the actual dwelling was. But like I said, I think it'd be far away. Could be a series of dwellings like those old farms in the 19th century were obviously like little communities. They had to be because they were so isolated. And they might have 3 or 4 outhouses, or indeed 3 or 4 families maybe living there in several houses and sort of share farming. But the amount of rubbish and bottle fragment that's in that bank, it's all through this bank up through here, back up to where I was about 50 metres upstream. Lots of potential. We'll kind of treat this as a recon because you probably haven't seen anything sensational yet. Just a bit of a walk in the bush with me. It's cooled off a bit now, it's not so bad. It was really humid up there, further up the creek, but well, it's probably approaching midday. Humidity's really high. Temperature's not that high, I think it's 33 or 34 Celsius. But yeah, this is potential here. When debris being washed down the creek, and clearly this has not been found by any bottle hunters or detectorists. I'm definitely the first in here. There's no dig holes, there's nothing. I'm the first to pick these bottles up, so that's awesome. Okay. I'll just have one scout up in that direction upstream back to where I was and see if I can connect these two debris flows. Well, I've just come across another little rubbish pit, top of the ground. Gee, I tell you what, there's a big debris scatter right through this forest. There's an old cast iron pot. We've got bottles. Once again, the top's smashed off. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, what's this one here? It's 99% complete. No name on it. There's some jars that are kind of 1950s. Mason white milk jars. Broken. An old pot lid over there. There's another one of these TT cordial bottles, I think. Oh no. Yes, it is. Tea Tristram. An old billy lid. Or cooking pot lid. What have we got up in here? Oh, very old. Now that's much older, that piece of glass. Very thick base on it. It's a 1950 screw top. We've got bits of corrugated iron. Oh, look up here, we've got a massive old wash tub. Could be serviceable, eh? Maybe I'll have a bath. Let's have a look. No. Alas, there's no base. Wow, there's iron and stuff all through here. Not really anywhere I could turn the machine on. I just have to eyeball what I can. Just all broken, mashed up glass. Not much complete. Still though, if you look at this here, it's not been disturbed or dug. You can always tell when someone's been here, obviously, because unless they cleaned it up and put it back, and not many people do, unfortunately. But we've got a lot of glass and ceramic that's probably just laying where it was dumped. Look over here. More pot lids. Bits of fly screen off an old window. Sardine tins, they're like 1920s. Bits of battery parts, they're probably 1940s. It's not a pretty sight really, is it? Lots of old brick. Never know, you might spot an old penny laying on the top. Because as the storms come, well, here's something really interesting laying on the top. Look at this. It's World War II webbing. Obviously the diggers were here. Returned from the army from World War II. Hey, I'll get a bit of webbing on top, that's awesome. Another bit of brass there, but look at that, that's a bit of World War II shoulder webbing. What a ripper. What else we got? I'll put that in my pocket. Add it to my brass collection. Not really seeing anything else yet. Here's another surface find, absolute ripper. It's an old latch, and it's with a ceramic ball sort of design. Oh look, it still hinges, awesome. That's been an old cupboard latch or something. That's an absolute ripper, that one. What a beauty. Okay, more bottles. I'm going to jinx myself. I think I can see a complete bottle over there, but we'll have a look over here first. I know that's Peck fish paste, but it's broken. That one with the square designs on the side. But over here, we've got a, looks like an intact bottle. Cork top. Oh, no writing, no embossing, but that's complete. What a beauty. Nice. I'll take that one home. Now it's a screw top actually. You can see the screws, so it's not that old. Here's a typical Australian find that we find. Eater peanut butter. These are 1950s we're looking at now. Eater peanut butter. There's some more Bonington's Irish moss. Ooh, and it's complete. Well, we'll take that one. Coughs and colds. What else we got here? That's a glass stopper. 1800s dome top. Broken. Wow. I'm going to have to come back and do another video in here. sifting and or detecting. Colleen will be keen to scout around. 4 eyes are better than 2, and she might be able to spot something that I've missed. This bottle looks awesome. It's got a very lightly embossed floral pattern in it. Nice complete, and it's got a screw top still in situ. I don't know what that is. It's not ancient by any means, but it's got that slight floral pattern to it. Some liquid in it still too, which I won't be drinking. Nice. But I'm going to go and get a cold drink. It's pretty humid in here, and need a bit of a break. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little walk in the jungle. No sensational finds. I like finding those military buckles on the top. Not really detectable. More a dump sift dig sort of scenario. I've got to go and construct a sifter. I'll do a video on that itself, and then we'll come back in here with Colleen the sifter, a pick and a shovel, sift it all, and then put it all back. So I'm sure there'll be some nice relics in amongst all that bottle, especially down on the creek bank, and there's 2 potential sites there. So thanks for taking a little walk in the jungle with me today. Happy fossicking. Bye for now.